Good morning. Well, it's the end of November here in North Wales, but it's not snowing, it's not raining, and the sun's out. So it's a perfect day to take advantage of the weather. So today's destination is it's actually quite local to me. So I'm going to be taking the long way round to get some time out on the bike and show you some nice roads and some nice views on the way. So join me and I'll tell you a little bit about this huge canal bridge located here in North Wales. Okay, the bridge I'm talking about is the Pontcysyllte Aquaduct, which is situated in northeast Wales and carries a canal across the River Dee. The huge structure was designed by a man named Thomas Telford at the end of the 1700s. It took 10 years to build and was completed in 1805. It's the longest canal aqueduct in Great Britain and the highest in the world. It extends to a total length of over 300 metres and stands almost 40 metres above the river at the tallest point. It's still used to this day and has become a popular spot for tourists and locals for walking, canal rides by barge and admiring the far-reaching countryside views. The aqueduct is constructed of steel that was produced in the nearby village of Cefn and sandstone which was also extracted locally from the village of Rosamedre. Okay, I've arrived at the Pontcysyllte Aquaduct and it's still a beautiful day. Right, I'm going to take you over this bridge in a sec. Now, I got to admit, when I was little, I used to absolutely crap myself every time I went across this bridge. If you don't like heights, then you'll probably see why. Right, so that way leads to the town of Llangollen, lovely little town. And then the actual aqueduct that I'm about to go over leads to a little town called, well, not a town, a village called Vron. It's like set on the side of a hill. Oh, you can see it there. Yeah, so this has been stood here for over 200 years. This is just the start of it here. Right, let's go. So obviously here is where the canal barges go. And that's quite scary as well. I've been over on a canal barge and there's nothing stopping you from plummeting to your doom. The reason why I used to be scared of this when I was a child, apart from the fact that obviously it does get very high up in the middle, is because these bars here, when you look down, it's quite a big gap. And when you were little, you were well aware of the fact that you could fall straight through those. Okay, right. Let's give you a little idea. Looking straight down from the middle. Let's have a look. Whoa. That's my old football pitch from when I was a lad. Aquavia Football Club. beautiful, the beautiful land of Wales. I do forget how lucky I am sometimes to live around somewhere like this. And like when I was thinking about what videos I can do, where I could go, you know, you forget that there's things on your doorstep that you just take for granted and that a lot of other people might find interesting. You sort of think, well, why is there so many tourists here in the summer? And then you think, well, actually people must find it interesting if people are coming all the way from other cities. And you know, you even see people who come here on holiday, you know, over to Britain, or make the trip up from London and things just to come and sort of experience the Welsh countryside, and this is one of the places that they come and visit for the day. So yeah, I thought I'd share it with everybody. The old green land of Wales. Beautiful. Right, let's walk back. So it's only about 4 degrees today. So it's a bit nippy, but it's nice and calm, because when it does get windy up here, it can get really rough. As you can imagine, it's right out in the open. Imagine if this is 200 years old, the sort of tools and equipment that they actually had to build this. I think I read that all the scaffolding would have just been made out of wood, built up over the water. That must have been pretty scary. These big huge blocks as well, and big massive pieces of iron. They didn't have proper cranes like they've got today. So yeah, it must have been quite a interesting job to do at the time. Very dangerous, I imagine. New update on the new boots. I got me some Altberg combat boots. They're the ones that the British Army use for certain jobs. Got recommended to them by somebody off the YouTube channel. Cheers, mate. And I had heard the name a few other times as well, so I thought, you know what, I'll go for them. They're made in England. Best part of 200 quid, and I found them in my size, hardly used, for 35 quid on eBay. So, you know what, brilliant. And they're perfect because they're obviously combat boots. When I am doing walking around in places like this, they're nice and comfy and appropriate and grippy. There it is, that's where I've just been walking. Let's get back on the bike. Right, back home. Really enjoyed that ride. Now, I've just filled up Fergie here for the first time since, well, sorry, the second time since I owned her. It only cost, what, about £12 to fill up. It was about 10.5 litres. But I just worked out the amount of miles I've done on it since when I filled it up. And it works out that I've got about 95 miles to the gallon out of it. I mean, I know that obviously I'm running it in, so I'm riding it very gently, but I think that's quite impressive because it's quite a heavy bike. 400cc engine, single cylinder. Not bad, eh? Alright, I'll see you on the next one.